feel I should be rocking out.
I I picked my intro music because I didn't want it to be scary.
It's not scary.
I wanted it to be upbeat and happy. Yes. Yes.
I was
That's
over
what,
here just 80s. I'm an
yeah.
80s baby. I was doing it.
And I think that embodies Pukwudgies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is total chaos energy there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Little
Yep.
trickster going on.
Yep. So let me introduce my co-host today. This is Trina Close from the Spooks, Creeps, and Assorted Devilry podcast. Did I get that right?
You did.
It's a mouthful.
It is. That's why we have our segments have different titles, because it's really hard to just say that every time. It's a lot easier to say Stone to Strangeness, or, well, that one's not easy if you do it like 5 times really fast. But the latest one I added is What's Going On. But I honestly only named it that so I could sing that horrific song to Rick every time we open the conversation. I just did it to him 2 nights ago. Like, he tried retaliating by singing Baby's Got Her Blue Jeans On, but it just didn't have the same force. I feel like I won the sing off, whatever.
Yeah, sing off, I think.
Enough.
I did wear my Crows Before Bros shirt for you tonight.
Yes. I have Be a Better Human.
Nice.
Let's be better humans. I love my crows. Little Dorito eating buggers. So, you know how much money I've spent on peanuts?
Yeah.
And come to find out, I randomly threw stale Doritos out there. 85 crows in 2 seconds flat.
We just had an embargo put on bird feeders where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I took mine down, but I've just been throwing stuff in my window box.
They figure it out.
Yeah.
They figure it out.
So what's that called? Malicious compliance?
Yes, that's exactly what I'd do too. I wouldn't have a bird feeder, but I'd definitely have bird seeds sprinkled everywhere. Or peanuts.
Because
peanuts.
My squirrels will act out against me if there is not food.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
They're scary.
Yep.
Squirrels are scary smart.
Yep.
I've got one named Trevor. He just waits for his peanuts and yells until I put him out there. He's pretty obese, though, to be fair.
That's Dorothy for me. Yeah.
I probably got the most obese squirrels in the hood. Because they're eating the peanuts that the crows are ignoring.
Yep. So I invited you here to do a reaction video. I had a great video picked out and went to just go find it in my watch list today. And I am pretty sure what happened is that the creator blocked me.
Oh, no. That actually tells me everything I need to know about that video, Susie.
They were claiming Pukwudgies are demons. Yes.
Right. Oh, they were saying what? What one?
They were saying Pukwudgies are demons.
Okay. Yeah, I see why they blocked you. They would have blocked me too.
And they also had another video about theorizing that Pukwudgies might be Nephilim as well. And that Nephilim video is the reason I started doing podcasts, because you can't reason with people like that. The most you can do is put out good information.
Right.
To counteract it.
I vet everything we put out. You know what I mean? You have to. I'm not going to feed. There's so much misinformation in our world. I'm not going to feed into it. You know that about our pod. Like we vet it. Cody and I find some strange, gosh darn stuff out there, right? But we vet it and make sure it's real before we people word about it. You know, because you just can't. Nephilim. I hate Nephilim, by the way. Every single part of it.
Yes, it is one of those like trigger words for me, where if I hear that, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a whole bunch of BS that follows immediately.
demons, anything. If somebody starts talking demons, starts talking Nephilim, demons are my trigger word because there's no such thing. And
Actually, the alternative video I found is Pukwudgies and a demon-ish aspect. So we might have instant rage.
I probably will. I got my Sharpies ready so I can write out my bad words. Oh my God. You know, I don't know. None of us are experts on anything, right? And I live by that. But come on. Come on.
Yep.
Some of it I see just on a regular. Okay, you know how crazy I was going over the stupid fish stories and the stupid shark stories. And a mako is in a lake. Oh my God. Firstly, not a mako. And this was an ABC news channel. I'm like, that's a bull shark. Taylor Lake is a salt lake that feeds to and from the ocean. And the locals around there actually have named him. Like, he's a regular. He doesn't want to leave. He's got good eating over there.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Somebody sent in a picture and then it was all over the news. Mako's in a lake. And I'm like, okay, Makos are deep water fish, people. They're not going to live in a lake.
Next, it'll be a great white.
Well, that would have been there was another one I saw that was, a great white came by my kayak. It was not a great white. It was a reef tip. Okay, I know my sharks. Unfortunately, as you know, I am a shark nerd and I track them as well. I have my favorites that I track around the world. I watch Shark Week religiously. You know, I mean, I know my sharks. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. Probably 10 years ago, I had a huge crush on that Dickie guy. That's how it's. But anyways, you know, the misinformation that is out there, even on a mundane level, is crazy to me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's an epidemic. It's absolutely horrible.
Like, when did we stop fact checking before we write articles or put out audio or, you know, the paranormal stuff like what we do and the cryptids and stuff like that? That's different. Again, there's no experts on anything. Everybody just has opinions, right? I mean, some of them are way more common sense than others. And some of them are just absolute horseshit. But everybody, excuse my language, but everybody has opinions about it. But like the mundane science-based stuff, that's where I get instant rage.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's me in archaeology. And
right.
Yep.
I get it. Instant rage. Like,
so this video, it is 15 years old.
Okay.
And it's from Chris Belzano's channel. Have you heard of him?
Oh, I'm friends with him because he lives by me.
He's from up here. And he moved down to Florida.
I'm actually friends with him because he talks at all the libraries around here.
Yep. So he's not a fan of mine.
No.
No.
Wonder why.
I wonder why as well.
I can understand why he wouldn't be. Let me put it that way. He's very opinionated about things that he probably shouldn't be opinionated about.
Yeah, and I speak out against the premise of one of his bigger books, which is based on the idea that the Bridgewater Triangle is a Native American curse. Because if, you know, my entire community got slaughtered, I would make a curse that just makes weird stuff happen randomly on this one piece of land. That makes total sense.
It's like the Native Indian curse that's protecting Tampa Bay. I'm like, oh yeah, because you know what? If colonizers came in and slaughtered me, I would definitely make sure they were protected from storms for the rest of their lives. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one cracks me up. Every year during the storms we're blessed by the Indians. And I'm like, oh! Why would they bless you? They hate you. You're trying to strip their citizenship, by the way. Like,
yeah.
what the hell? That shit hits dear to me, but whatever. So, anywho, so we got, and it's funny, I know the guy, so this is going to make it even better. I expect I'll be blocked next.
So this is a clip, and they're in Hockomock Swamp.
Okay.
And that's the best context I can give you. They're kind of doing an investigation in Hockomock Swamp. So here we go. Get ready.
I'm ready. Picturing myself ghost hunting.
Maureen. Push him out.
Ron, you're still connected here.
Ron,
watch her going back too far.
Yeah. Maureen.
Come on, Maureen, fight him.
Oh, come on, Maureen. Oh, crap.
Don't let her go back too far, Ron.
Don't let her get near the water.
Yeah.
Maureen. Maureen. Look over the water. Maureen. Leave this boy. You need to leave this boy. It's not your own. Come here. Leave it. Leave the Father and the Son, the Holy Spirit. Leave this boy. Leave it. Leave it. Push him out. So much.
So guess the name of that video.
Maureen.
It's When Pukwudgies Attack.
What the? No. I refuse to even accept that. That God himself needs to come down here and get that video. Jesus himself needs to come out of heaven and delete that video.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, Maureen? Excuse me, bartender coming out. I'm. So where was the Pukwudgie? He possessed her?
That is the narrative. I have spoken to people that know people that were in that and involved in that, and no one has ever been able to give me a good explanation as to why they thought it was a Pukwudgie at all.
I mean, she kind of looked like she was trying to avoid a snake. And that's what I thought was going on at first. I'm like, what's going on? And then she just, the shimmying and the shaking and the, yeah.
Yep.
And I love Pukwudgie tales. I really, really do. And that's how I became friends with you, honestly. Is I freaking love it all. And I just love the little trickster stuff. You know that. I love that energy, which is probably why I have gremlins in my life. But that being said, that kind of thing never possesses humans. They'll trip her in the woods, maybe pinch your butt, pull your hair, mimic a voice or whistle away from where you can't hear it. That's the kind of stuff that happens with wood spirits or forest spirits and whatever names, whatever labels. You know how I feel about that. I pull different ones out of my butt all the time. Definitely not a Pukwudgie. Definitely probably not even a possession. Yeah, again, I'm not even sure I believe in, I don't worship Jesus, but I'm really asking him for a personal favor to come down here and help Maureen out. Just take that off the airwaves.
It's kind of like, it's so dumb it's funny, but it's also infuriating that like you are putting your religion on another culture that existed first.
Every part of that. See, and these freaking paranormal investigators do it with every. I don't watch the ghost shows. I'm very adamant about that. I never have. Back when the Taps one first came out, I watched 2 episodes, and this is some bull crap. And it was like no, and whatever. Especially being somebody who interacts with the paranormal world, I'm like no, but this kind of stuff, again, you're culturally appropriating. A. And B, you didn't even do your research, because in every Pukwudgie legend I've ever read, never was there a possession. Never. No, they're not some evil little gremlin. Well, they can be, but they're not in general evil little gremlin sprites out there ready to pow, pow, pow. They might be now, because let's be real, we've killed their living habitats. But, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Well, no, not the stupidest, but real damn close.
And the whole, like, all the folklore, all of the stories you hear is they are only dangerous if you harm them. They'll defend themselves.
Mm-hmm. They'll defend them in their own. And they've also been known, I've read a few legends where they get offended by something that you did, even though if you didn't harm them. Like, they're easily offended. A lot of pride. Little dog syndrome, probably, since they're tiny little sprites. But I've read a few just parable, the fun little, probably nursery stories, I would assume, that mothers would pass along, where they would get offended at something and then go above and beyond at tricking that person and, pushing them into rivers and, making the fish die that they were catching, and just silly things like that. Or, so.
One of my pet theories about little people in general, because there's a lot of stories where people claim that they're demonic entities because when you talk about God or Jesus, they run away. My pet theory is that they are just so sick of the bullshit that they don't want to hear it. And they just
like Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, oh God, they're spouting that crap again. I'm out.
Yep.
And then the energy isn't fun either. Like, God.
And it's like every culture with little people lore, when Christianity moves in, they get demonized immediately.
Well, Christianity demonized everything. Women, witches, snakes, and for God's sakes, apples, of all things.
Yeah.
Some writer out there, some old freaking putrid old man who had no wife, probably bit into a rotten apple, or his wife brought him the apple. And he's like, oh, God damn it. Oh, yeah. And then, 10 other old white men sat around a table and decided what God really said and put together books that aligned with their narrative. Weird how things never change, right?
Yeah.
But firstly, I call nothing a demon, and I don't, because that assigns religion. And Pukwudgies have nothing to do with religion. They're energy. No. They're energy that lived in harmony with the First Nations, because the First Nations understand that there's more to our world than just this dimension that we live in. And they learned to interact and to appreciate and to honor and to respect, because in all the stories and all the fun nursery type stories, that's always the biggest thing. You disrespect a forest spirit, that's when the bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even just like Wendigos and skinwalkers, anytime somebody says that, I just want to stab myself in the head. It's not a skinwalker. It's not a Wendigo. And again, if you're going to culturally appropriate, I can't get my lips around these words.
That is culturally, yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's a hard one. But if you're going to do that, at least do your flipping research.
Yeah. Or make up a new word once in a while if you don't have a word for something.
Right. The giant flying goat sucking. I don't know. Cow butt eating. Cattle mutilations fascinate me.
Yeah. Are those still happening?
Yes. I just read about one a few months ago before my big depression of sad there that I get every year. So it was like late last year. There was one out Arizona way, Nevada, like in the drier areas, and just completely sucked dry. The anal things poured out. I don't know. I did a show about it a couple of years ago with one of my friends, Robert. His theory is that they did that. They did something weird because they were trying to get the cow sperm and they were using the butthole to. Right. You see where I'm going. So, anywho, but I don't think I agree with that. So,
There's better ways.
Right. I go always, because I always look for the mundane first. I go to, government experiments. They're putting something in these cows and then later reaping the tissue to see what happened. That's what I think. I don't think the aliens coming down here and like cow butts are a delicacy or something.
Can't imagine
But
that.
the way they take all the blood and only very specific organs each and every time, that just screams government to me, and science.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about those. But, and the thing is I know there's more to our world. I believe in the paranormal. I believe in the spirits. But if you don't look for those mundane things first, then you're just, I don't know. I believe in science. I don't know. I do. Just like I say, quantum physics is magic. And nobody will ever change my mind now. Now that it's been proved. I've been walking around for like 3 years going, I told you so.
That's me with plants having consciousness being proved by science.
Yes.
I've been saying that. My grandmother taught me that when I was little. I've been saying it my entire life. People call me a weird hippie. No, it was science that we just didn't understand yet.
We lost so much of that. I think our connection with, the natural world. Once we became industrialized and money oriented and everything that we are, we lost a lot of our connection to the natural world, the powers around it, the other, we have life on hard earth. We have life in the water. We have life that's kind of on air. Like I consider birds amphibians. I think there's other creatures we can't see in the sky. It would make no sense to balance if there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
We have life in every firmament. We have life in every dimension. We're just narrow-minded. Some of us are trying,
Yep.
I feel like sometimes I can get a little glimpse.
Yep. People want these grand things like aliens built the pyramids and this and that when there are things all around you that you are ignoring every day. Just like my kid would say, go touch grass. Yeah. Go sit outside for a while. You will see something magical happen.
Find the magic in your world. It's there. You just got to look for it, And then once you look for it, then it just becomes habit. It's just there and you attract it, And again, that's quantum physics. And the more you feel the magic in our world, the more you attract it, the more that happens, Rick likes to say he has an anti-weird field around him. But what happens, and I've seen it with my own eyes, is when weird stuff happens, he automatically goes, no.
That used to be me. Yep. I got a TV thrown at me and I was like, weird.
Yeah. I was literally sitting there one day watching like his pictures fall, and weird. But he was talking about his uncle who had passed. And I'm like, him and I, though, he's come so far. he used to just be, I don't believe in nothing. And now he's like one of my biggest believers, one of my biggest supporters. He's come so far all the time I've known him.
Yeah.
Makes me proud. Little man.
I laugh because like you'll ask people if they've ever had paranormal experiences and they'll say, "Oh no." But then, after a beat, they'll say, "What this one time this weird thing happened." And they'll tell you this completely crazy story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Dude, you have. You have."
My dad's got a pretty kick-ass UFO story. But the one time I asked him, have you ever seen anything weird in the swamps? Because he hunts and he knows that property up where he lives now has been in our family since like the 40s. So all of us know those woods. Like I could go in there, but my cousins and I talk about it to this day. You know enough to stay on the path. You don't go off the path. Even as kids, if we played on the moss hills right next to the path. We never went into the swamp. We never went deep into the forest. The tree house that's been built, it's built by my dad and his cousins, me and my cousins, the next generation, it's 3 generations of us right on the path. And my cousins and I were sitting around talking about that not too long ago. I'm like, did you guys ever go off the path? And they're both like, no, but when I asked my dad, anything ever weird happened in that swamp over there? Oh, no. But then he'll talk again, give me the craziest fucking story of fog rolling in and this happened and this happened. It's like, okay, Dad, never mind. We know.
See, I got taught to go off the path by my grandmother, but I don't know why it's taken me so long to put certain things together. She would also tell me, like, there was this one spot on the stone wall, because we had stone walls all over the property.
Mm-hmm.
She would leave an offering there, usually bread or berries or something. We always left an offering. She said it was for the forest spirits. Mm-hmm. And then, we would go out in the woods and, look for mushrooms and flowers and things like that. And she'd teach me what everything was. But that's Fae lore. And now I know that. I did not know I was being taught that as a child, though.
I know. I think about like my great grandma, like this little thing of rocks most of them are rocks that she found, again, 40s, up there in the woods, and then sliced and tumbled and made and they all have this crazy energy. And I'm like, well, I guess back in the 40s, if you were a witch, that was how you could be a witch and not have to tell people, I'm just a rock hound. That's what she would tell people. I have so many memories of having to fall. I swear this is why I can fall asleep to anything, but those old-fashioned tumblers were like a jet going over your house. It was like blah, 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 blah. And I can fall asleep to anything, and I swear that's why. But I have all of these amazing slices. I have copper lights that were made into brooches, and then I think about it, and it, like, some of them, I've even had people walk in and go, whoa, what is, because I have a piece. Yep. I keep it in a box now, but, and then because it's my grandma's energy, but it makes sense to me now. The things that she was teaching me and the things about the powers that the earth hold and respecting nature. And like you said, leaving an offering with us, it was always a little bowl of milk left outside, them old ladies knew more than they let on. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Actually, I have a story I think you'll appreciate that has to deal with my grandmother. Do you know what a Rose of Jericho is? The plant?
Yes.
They look like a tumbleweed, and then when you put them in water, they open. I have my grandmother's. And she passed when I was in my early 20s. So probably close to 20 years ago. So the plant's at least 30 years old, as far as I can tell, probably older, because I remember her having it when I was little, but I'm not sure how little I was. And she would always put 5 pennies in it, in the water. And when I got it, I would always do that. I thought it was because the copper was killing the algae in the water, and that's why she was doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, a few years ago, and this one, it's pretty big now, and it's had multiple babies. So I have multiple ones. So I kind of like rotate which one I'm opening. And
Right.
I would write down which date I opened which one on to keep track of it.
Right.
Because they're my grandmother's plants. Like these
Right.
things are now family heirlooms.
Right. You have to. I get it. Yes.
And I noticed that every time I opened the original one, within a few days, and this started a few years ago, one of my exes would try to contact me by any means necessary.
This lady wants you married.
This was when I had stopped putting the pennies in. So I don't know why I stopped putting the pennies in. I think because I thought it had something to do with algae, and I wasn't having an algae problem. Said I don't need to do these.
Right.
After talking to several people, the pennies were telling it to send to, or because they call it a resurrection plant, to like send your money back to you. Because I didn't put the pennies in to tell it, give me my money back, it sent something else back. And that happened probably half a dozen times before I figured it out. And I put the pennies in now religiously, the 5 pennies every single time.
Okay.
And I talk to it first too.
Please. Please don't send them people back. Please. I used to be able to tell it all the time, but I haven't dated in a very long time, so it doesn't happen anymore. But back in my dating days, like I'd wake up and go, oh God, oh no. And then I just always knew. I mean, now that I've cut everybody out of my life, I don't have that drama. Every once in a while I get like lonely, but then I'm like, I don't cry anymore over stupid shit. Nobody, I worked so hard. When I moved into this place, I had 5 boxes. That's it. Plus my heirloom shit. That's all I had. And I built my life from the ground up. And I had every ex ever tell me, you'll never be anything without me. Because, I love them narcissists, right? Friggin' love them. And that's another thing and why I don't date, because I'm attracted to a very specific sort of man. And unfortunately, that sort of man is not good for me.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody telling me how to live my life. I podcast with 3 dudes. We're on a group chat. We're on a group text chat. Most guys would not be okay with that. Oh, why you got to talk to those people all the time? Why you got to record with 3 guys? Why do you call that guy your best friend? I call all 3 of them my best friend. I'm just not dealing with it.
Yeah.
They are my friends. I love doing this. I love our community, and I just don't want to risk anybody coming in and trying to change who I am,
Yep. For me, it's my adventures. Like, I mean, you've seen it. I wake up at 5 on a Saturday morning and decide to drive to Vermont, and I turn my phone off. you know,
and most dudes aren't going to be okay with that.
No, and I'm just out sitting by a stream somewhere. But you can't tell anyone that if they don't want to hear it. So
yeah, and it's just not worth it. And I get I don't know. I had a one-night stand that lasted 5 years, but then I cut that off like last year because it was just lame anymore, That's all it was. It was just, I've never had a booty call last that long, but that's really what it was. And I knew it was over with. It's one of my favorite stories. Now, mind you, I had been seeing this guy probably at least once a week for about 4 years at this point, because it was about a year before I finally ended things. But this was the beginning of the end. I'm at work one day, and apparently he brought his niece and his daughter in to eat. I poured his coffee. I looked dead in his face. Didn't recognize him. And then my phone, I left it at home. So he's furiously texting me, trying to figure out why I'm ignoring him. I get home and he's like, are you seriously? The last message is like, are you seriously not going to answer? I'm like, bro, I left my phone at home. What's going on? I just got home from work. And so he tells me, and I'm just fucking dying. So I say the first thing that comes back into my head, which was probably the wrong thing to say, but I'm like, well, I guess because you didn't have your, you know what, out on the table, I just didn't recognize you. I thought it was hilarious. Him, not so much. But it really made me think, because I'm like, I clearly have zero feelings for this bro. If I could look him dead in his face, pour his coffee, and not even register, and mind you, once a week for 4 years. That tells you everything you need to know about that relationship, right? So I'm just, I sent him a message, and it's really funny. I said, our pod, we were doing so much at that. It was right when me and Rick just finally consolidated down to us and Cody and Easton, we added them too. And so we just had a lot going on. And I sent him this message and said, hey, because he had sent something. I'm like, hey, I'm really busy right now with the pod and doing this and doing that. And my grandkids are here. I remember the boys were here. I said, so if you don't hear from me, I'm not ghosting you. I promise. Just give me a few, my kids are here for a couple weeks, just, whatevs. And just kind of heads up, if you don't hear from me, I'm not ghosting you. That's what I said exactly. And then I immediately hung up the phone and ghosted them. Like, not on purpose.
That's how my last one ended.
Not on purpose. I literally just, so much time went by that after, now it's been a year, and I'm like, and here's the worst part. I could probably text him right now and he would come over. I know that, but I won't, because now it's a matter of, it's almost like quitting smoking. It was a habit. It was a habit, and he clearly had no impression on the inside of me, if I can.
Yeah, the last guy I was seeing, he moved to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And we were still texting each other for a while. And then I think what had happened is I read a message and said, I'll reply to this later a couple of times. I forgot he existed, Trina. Like, if you're not there, out of sight, out of mind, forgot he existed. Mm-hmm. And then like a few months later, it was actually like right around the holidays this year. He said, oh, I'm coming home to see my family for the holidays. Do you want to do something? I'm like, I ghosted you. Have some self-respect.
You're right. See, that's how I know mine won't. He won't message me because he does have self-respect, and I left it as, I'll get a hold of you. Yeah, basically. So, but I also know if I messaged him right now, zippity doodah, he'd be right here. But what kind of relationship is that? It's not, No. It just wasn't set. It worked when I needed it. It worked for what I needed in those years.
And I don't think that's bad. I think a lot of times we have we're too narrow-minded about what a relationship is or should be.
Mm-hmm.
And it can look differently for different people, and that's fine. And they don't have to be permanent. I think sometimes people are just meant to be in your life for a little while. You learn a few things and then go your separate ways.
I explained it to him once, because we do that where sometimes there'd be like a month or two where we just, neither one of us, it's just time-wise, whatever. But I think like with anyone in life, sometimes your paths are parallel and then you just kind of go off. And then sometimes they rejoin, then you're on switchbacks. And, it just all depends on who that person is and how important they are to you, really, because you make a concerted effort to keep the real ones in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I make a concerted effort to talk to Rick and Cody beyond the podcast, they're my friends, and, you owe me. I have a very distinct group of people that I always check on. Make sure. We might not live in the same state. We might not be around each other, but I check on y'all because you're important to me. We made those connections, whether we've met or not. Those connections are there. And that's one thing that today's society accepts, that you can have these wonderful, beautiful relationships with people that you've never met in person. Don't get me wrong. I'm waiting for the day you and I get to hang out with Omi, And that's the thing. I could drive to North Carolina right now and she would meet me for lunch, and we would hug and cry. Just, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it's so, and that's another reason I want to move to Tennessee. Like, I want to be closer. It's, it's 8 hours just to get out of Florida,
Yep.
because I'm so far down,
We've got to
And-
do a paranormal girls' night with Omi.
Yes, I do. I actually want to do that because I already told the guys on my next one that there's no boys allowed. I said I was putting the sign up, no boys allowed, because I figured maybe Omi would come on, and I know I can get Lisa Russell from Cryptic Comforts too, because she's the other half of the Fearsome Folklore Festival we're putting on in Hot Springs. And turn Rick. I'm just gonna go and be their bitch and do whatever they ask me to do, because they're looking for vendors now. I think I got Stevie locked down to be a speaker.
Nice.
I know.
That'll
She's like,
be a good
she
time.
lives in Tennessee. So I'm like, hey. And she's like, absolutely. I'd be honored. She's so sweet.
Yes.
She's so sweet. And what an interesting subject. It's different from every other subject you go to these festivals and hear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And her research is top tier. So I've said that from the beginning. Top tier researcher.
Yep.
She's one of my faves. But that's going to be August 23rd of this coming year. If you ever wanted to maybe plan a trip to Tennessee.
Friends down there too, maybe. I will not be calling my ex that moved down there though.
No. Well, we don't remember his name anymore, remember? It's like gone. When we're done, Susie, they're gone.
So this might sound horrible, but it's the truth. But I think it's object permanence and ADHD. Like I have probably about 20 tubes of toothpaste in my cabinet right now because I put it in the cabinet where I can't see it. So when I go to the store, I can't remember if I have extra toothpaste at home or not. So I keep buying more toothpaste.
With me, it's
because
shredded cheese.
I can't see him. I forget he exists. And it's not like he's a boring person or something. It is just that I don't want it to come off like he's forgettable, but I just didn't have that kind of attachment to him because I don't forget that I have forks in my silverware drawer. I just forget I have the extra toothpaste already.
Like I said, with me, it's shredded cheese. And again, probably because it's in the drawer.
Yeah.
But every time I go to the store, I'll buy more cheese because I can't remember if there's cheese in there.
Yep.
Because I don't see it. It's in the drawer. I have a whole freaking drawer full of cheese. My life is pretty golden, really.
What more could you ask for? A drawer full of cheese.
Man, a drawer full of cheese. I podcast. I got some blessings going on. But no, I get it because here's the thing. Women like you and I, we don't make any partner in our life, be it man or woman, the focus of our lives.
Right.
And anybody that wants to be with us has to understand that there are 8,000 other things that I am interested. Yes, I love you. Yes, I want to spend time with you, but not 100% of my time. And probably not even 10% because I got a lot going on. Things that are just as important as love.
Mm-hmm.
I did the wife-mom thing twice. It's not who I am anymore. I figure I don't look anymore. I haven't even looked on dating sites in a couple of years. And it used to be, and this is how I knew my spirit guides where I was on the right track, because anytime I'd sign up a new dating profile, something horrific would happen in my life immediately, within a half hour. Finally, the last time, I think my car broke down or something, literally within an hour. I'm like, okay, I get it. And that was years ago. And you know what? They were right, though. I'm stronger and healthier mentally, whatever, close as it gets, than I've ever been. And I did that on my own. And I guess I needed to do that too, prove that I could do it on my own. Because I always had it in my head that I was going to fail. Well, I haven't failed. I've thrived. I've succeeded. And I'm still moving forward. I don't let anything get me down. As you know, I have serious health issues. I have a lot going on. But I don't let none of that stop me. You know, you wouldn't know I have those issues if I didn't tell you. And I've only recently opened up about it, you know, and that's what it's got to be. You got to keep on moving forward no matter what. If you let yourself get stuck in that wallow, that rut.
And I think being single is good for everyone, but especially women, because we're not ever taught to prioritize or deal with our own emotions.
No.
And like, if you are waking up next to a man, there's immediately someone else to think about, someone else's needs, someone else's emotions. And you are worried about their emotions, what they're feeling, what they're dealing with, and taking that in on yourself. And you're never taking the time to sit with and unpack and think about or deal with your own emotions.
No, you spend years, decades living for other people. And then when the time comes and you got to live for yourself, like, I don't want anybody here.
Yeah, I don't want anyone in my home.
No, me either. I've never had a dude here, and I've lived here 5 years.
Yep.
Now, mind you, I've had relations in those years. Close enough, whatever you want to call it, but never here.
Yeah, this is my spot.
This workroom, my Dickens, my Shakespeare, my stuff, my witchy stuff. This is my sanctuary. And people who walk in here, it's funny because this bedroom is the only way you can get to the catio, and this is my space. I've made it all my space. And when people walk in here, it's almost like they exhale the minute they walk through. I work very hard on keeping that energy in here. And you would have to be pretty spectacular for me to say, hey, come on over, hang out and watch a movie. I won't even do that. You don't get to Netflix and chill on my bed, baby. My cat would be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that Batty would let. I mean, okay, so when I have the two cats. I have the one-eyed Maine Coon, and I've got Batty and losing all of her teeth and special little feral. And she has her own pillow covered with her own blanket by my head, off to the side, though, because she used to like to get right here. I'm so allergic. That's part of why I get hives inside my eyes if she sleeps too close, which are crazy, ridiculous. But so she has her own spot. Skittle has her own spot by my feet because they have been frenemies for 4 years. They always have to have the mom wall in between them.
Yep.
Right. So I don't know that I have room, and I sleep diagonal. So you know what? There's just not room.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cubby sleeps.
I'll have to bring an air mattress, and then once we're done with the chilling part, just go your little way. And that sounds terrible, right? Does that sound savage and terrible?
It shouldn't, though.
Right?
Because like, we're adults, and I think as long as you are, see, the problem is with some people you can communicate very clearly and they don't listen, because I have been in the position where I've said, like, I don't want a relationship at all, yada yada, and they're like, okay, cool, and then like a month later they're trying to get married. So
right. That's arrogance, though, because they think, oh, sure, you don't want a relationship. I'll change that with my wah. And you're like, I'm over here just crocheting, bro. Calm down,
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, men.
Yep. Well, on that note, I thought that we could end this out on a goblin sighting compilation.
Oh, all right. I'm ready. Any of them look like Danny DeVito? That picture I have is my favorite Danny DeVito.
It's just going to be clips from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
Yeah. Some of these are more egregious than others, but all are.
What is goblins? Goblin is a monstrous creature first attested from the Middle Ages. They are ascribed various and conflicting abilities, temperaments, and appearances depending on the story and country of origin. They are almost always small and grotesque, mischievous, or outright evil, and greedy, especially for gold and jewelry. They often have magical abilities similar to a fairy or demon. Here are top 10 real goblins caught on camera, 10 goblins caught on tape and spotted in real life. Tree Goblin. In this video, goblin sighting clip was posted in 2016. In this mystery video clip shot at an undisclosed location, an eyewitness ventures into the woods to find a possible goblin figure in a large hole of the tree trunk. The figure appears to be motionless in the first moment shot, but in the second it appears to be using a wooden cane. Many commenters responded with skepticism, claiming that the video is fake, but others claimed to see the possible goblins. What do you think about this video?
I don't see anything.
I see nothing. Okay, yeah, that wasn't
Goblin
there,
in
but-
house.
No.
In this creepy footage, purports to show the moment a tiny goblin emerged from thin air and ran through a kitchen alongside a toddler. The disturbing content was filmed in Argentina and initially shows the youngster talking to himself and playing on the floor. Suddenly a little figure appears behind the young boy named Benjamin and runs quickly towards one of the counters before escaping into the garden. The video maker Sylvia said, the spooky creature left behind a nauseating smell and of course some terrifying footage on her camera. This viral video, which has racked up hundreds of thousands of views and as many skeptics.
Huh. Can't imagine why. Weird.
The South American duende videos are just amazing.
That was beautiful. There he goes.
Goblin caught in ground. A group of children have been left too terrified to play football after they believe they spotted a goblin on their pitch. Eerie footage filmed by one of the youngsters shows the group running happily around the pitch after the ball until the filmer suddenly spots what appears to be a mysterious figure at the side. The small dark shape crawls slowly forwards. Moments later the boy begins screaming at the top of his lungs, and he and his pals run madly away from the creature in a desperate bid to escape. This footage was released in February 2017. What do you think about this video? Is it goblin or not?
That looks like a cat. Looks like a monkey.
I don't see why goblin.
I'm not getting goblin.
Goblin in
it
room.
Really was walking like a monkey.
In the video, two boys are playing with a football when suddenly a mysterious small creature, too upright and skinny to be a cat or a dog, runs through the doorway, immediately frightening the young boy. The image is so fleeting that no positive identification can be made as to whether a real-life goblin has infested the boys' playroom. Yes, it exactly looked like goblin.
He's got a little pointy hat.
Yeah. David the gnome.
They put a garden gnome on a fishing line. That's what I think they do. Because look, it lifts up. It's got the little hat. Or it's off on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's what it
Goblin
is.
behind the wall.
That was
In
an
this
outlet.
video, two children were standing backside of the house at the end of the garden. They suddenly saw a strange creature behind the wall. They go to see that what is a strange figure appears to be wall and then hidden. They were frightened to see that. When they decided to be closely seen, that mysterious small brown clad creature is found quickly scurrying behind a wall. They were shocked to see that figure looked like a goblin. Yes, it's a goblin-like creature captured in this video. Goblin beside the tree. In this video, a woman Mary Sampras in 2016 videographer is filming a woman pointing a camera back at him or her, always a neat trick. But the attempt at a clever feedback loop of camera on camera is soon forgotten, as a mysterious small red-clad creature is found quickly scurrying behind a tree. Moments later, what may be a goblin or a gnome is seen potentially camouflaging itself in the tall weeds and foliage, imitating plant life in predator-like fashion, but with its humanoid shape still visible. What you say about this video?
Predator. Okay. Predator goblins. I'm down for that. Because that totally couldn't just be a dude behind her in the trees, right?
Goblin or human-like creature. In this video, 3 guys were going on the countryside road on bikes. They are moving faster on bikes and suddenly a very strange and horrifying creature running fast towards them. They shock-led to see that and stop their bikes and don't understand what they see. Creepily human-like creature. When they
freaking
decided they follow the
kangaroo.
creepy creature and they reach that spot where the creature was hidden, they are searching bushes and they do not find that creature, who looked like a goblin.
No, he looked like a kangaroo, not a goblin. I'm still with kangaroo.
Or a naked man.
Oh yeah, it could be a naked man.
Goblin or child. In another video, a bus station is
know.
the setting of
It's very
mysterious
different.
incident that seems to alarm a female security guard. A portly woman is seen carrying what appears to be a child, but as a small humanoid turns to face the camera, its face is revealed to be horrifyingly as hen, and colored a dark shade of green, with Spock-like pointy ears as a bonus. Is this parent carrying a real child? Is it some type of optical illusion? Or is this another worldly creature in the care of a Latin American bus traveler?
She got baby Spock.
What if it's one of those reborn dolls, but weird?
Are
It
goblin
could be.
real?
That's almost what it looked like.
In the
That's
video,
it.
a boy and his sister are playing with a football when suddenly a mysterious small creature, too upright and skinny to be a cat or a dog, runs through the doorway, immediately frightening the young boy. The image is so fleeting that no positive identification can be made as to whether a real-life goblin has infested the children's playroom.
Goblins like soccer, apparently.
I guess so.
Goblin on the road. In the video, children were playing with a football on the road at night. They suddenly saw a something strange creature was running on the road. This mysterious small brownish-clad creature was running and crossed the road. Children were searching that strange creature. They looked everywhere and could not find this goblin-like creature. Children put the stones in their hands and finding this creature, but they did not see again goblin on the road.
Because it totally just couldn't have been a little person in the carriage. So of course they threw rocks. Okay. I don't think I saw not one goblin.
No.
Pointed.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at least it's not just zoomed in pictures of trees with a red circle like with Bigfoot. But
the first one was, I want nothing in that knot hole. And then I'm convinced that the other one was an elf on a shelf on a string. Like,
yeah.
Got a little pointy hat. Like, what the hell? Oh, goodness. I wish somebody would get real footage. That would be great. But, you know, the hoaxes are good too because it does bring the people into looking into it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Digging deeper and going, oh, hey, you know, these things exist, but differently than you think. You know, are we ever going to really get one on camera? Probably not. But whatever. I enjoy watching the videos.
I can't even get my son on camera right now. So, yeah, it's not going to be me. No.
My girls will selfie with me anytime. My son is 27, and to get a picture of him is like pulling teeth. I have
Yep.
to like beg. He's been here for the last couple of days just to visit, and he's funny. He's funny. Well, I have him come to do what I call the dude jobs, and I've had that cat living in my eaves, freeloader Fred, and we shortened it to Fred Loader. But I have to get a hold of the shelter that I got my cats from, Friends of Strays, because they're no kill. And I want to see if they'll trap and pick him up because he's definitely a left behind and not a feral because he's ginormous. And he's got patches on his face and on his buttocks of just skin. So he's got something. He's got manger worms. I don't want him getting my cat sick. And he was in our eaves and he broke through and got on my patio. So my son's been covering all the holes and stuff because I'm like, if my cats catch some weird disease like AIDS or leukemia, I will literally, you guys will have to put me on suicide watch. Like, I mean, that cat is my freaking world, So I don't know. So anyways, Fred Loader has to get trapped and fed. He's got to get. So, folks, pet owner responsibly. If you're moving and you can't take them with, don't leave them behind. Cats, yeah, they can go feral, but they don't live very good lives and they don't live long.
Yeah, like this thing right here, he's never surviving in the wild now. He's too soft. It's not going to happen.
No, Betty doesn't even know where Kibble lives. She's got 2 teeth. Literally, well, no, she's got about 4 left, I think, 4 or 5. And her bottom canine broke in half. So she only had 2 of them left. The top one and then the bottom. Like they were on opposite sides, so it's kind of funny. But the bottom one broken. The tip is missing now. So I don't know. And then I looked and she has a hole back there where she lost another molar. But either way, even the Maine Coon, she's got 1 eye. She gets outside. You know what she does? She walks right to my deck and lays right down. It's like, I'm not going nowhere. I know where the food is. They wouldn't live out there. And people just, do you know how many cats I see every spring when, I start seeing the for rent signs? I know there's going to be 5 more cats trooping through. People just leave them behind. It's disgusting to me. But I'm going to get Fred Loader fixed if I can. At least have them trapped. What they do with them after that, they're a no-kill, though. They were St. Pete's first no-kill shelter in like 1972. So I get all of my animals from them and raise money for. I do all their fundraisers and stuff, too. Because I like them. So.
More places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do the TNR, the feral, and where they fix the ferals, vaccinate them, and then they just re-release them. But because that's how Batty was found. A feral colony, a mom had her under a garage and her litter got turned in. And that's why she's so messed up. She's got double claws. She's got wonky teeth. She's got no eyelashes. But man, she's the bravest little cat I've ever had in my life. She punched a pit bull in the face. Well, with the hurricanes took out our fence I'm in a duplex. My neighbor has 4 pit bulls. And Cosmo, whom I love dearly, by the way, had come over and was sniffing at the screens. And I didn't know I was coming through to come out onto the patio. And I hear Batty make the craziest sound I've ever heard in her life. And I walk out to see her go, boom, boom, right into Cosmo's nose through the screen. And he did the classic backup Scooby-Doo. Huh? Well, I knew the next step was forward for him. I picked up that little orange cat. And when I say I yeeted her through the door, like I've never thrown an animal like that in my life, but I didn't want to see her get eaten in front of me. And that was going to be his next move had I not removed her because she wasn't backing down. Mm-mm. She's like, I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm like, oh my God, no, you're not. You don't even have teeth. What the hell? You're going to gum them to death? You don't even have teeth. She's trying to eat a pit bull. So she's dumb. She would die in 3 minutes out there.
Yep.
3 minutes. Easy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It was fun.
It was fun. What we're going to have to do is find like really horrible Bigfoot videos to torture Rick with next, maybe.
Oh, yeah. We need a reaction video with them. I could find some egregious shit out there. And again, I'm willing to ruin my algorithm for it.
Oh, mine is toast.
It's like every time I make an origami wrapper, it goes in our group text chat, every time. He's like, I hate you. Like, no, you don't. You love me. Don't lie. It's been a good time though.
It has been. So thank you very much. And I hope you are the rage might be subsiding from that first one. But
well, the ridiculousness of the second one was refreshing as to the are you fucking flipping kidding me? I can't help it. I'm so sorry. Of the first one. The first one was like, Maureen, please stop. Maureen. Now I want to go find her because I bet
now,
you
whenever I'm like watching a video or listening to a podcast and someone is being like super over dramatic, I just keep saying, Maureen.
Yeah. I'm using that now.
If you run into Belzano out and about at a library, just yell Maureen at him, please, for me. Say, Susie says, Maureen.
He'll kick me out of the library. He actually threw a little fit and canceled all of his shows because he went to one and there was nobody there to listen to him. This was like last year. Now he's back doing ghost tours or something. I don't know. He friend requested me probably because he's one of the weird ones. You know,
Yeah.
There's some weird ones out there.
Yep.
So how that goes. They friend request me for the wrong reasons and then they figure out they don't really like me. Yeah. Sorry.
I get that a lot.
Oh, same. And I'm okay with it because, you know, I love me. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to get going because my grandkids have been really quiet for an hour and now I'm really.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely up to something. You should go handle that.
They're 7 and 8. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Oh, we're going to do it again. All right. 'Cause I'm looking for videos now. This was fun. I'm looking for videos now. We're going to make
you can pick them next time.
I'll host it next time.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Trina.
You're welcome. Bye, folks.